The Fruit Farm Creature. In the early 1860s, a farmer who owned the biggest farm plot in the town lived there with his wife and two daughters. One night, after he got all the animals into the stables, he went to the local pub to meet up with other local farmers. His wife and daughters were still at the farm, or so he thought. 1 hour later, he saw his wife outside holding hands with a man he had never seen before. After they left his sight, the farmer told the other farmers that he had to leave immediately. So he got up and walked home. He got home before his wife. He went to the kids' bedroom and told them to go to bed. So he turned off their lamp and went to his shed. His mind was going crazy. He was having homicidal thoughts about his wife. So he grabbed his shotgun and went to the front porch. About 20 minutes later, his wife showed up, and when she saw him, she was startled. The first thing she said was, "I thought your meeting was a 2-hour meeting." The farmer replied with, "I told them I need to go check on my beautiful wife and kids." She said with a sigh of relief, "Oh, that was not—" She was cut off by a shout. Suddenly, the man that was with her in front of the bar appeared in the dirt road. He looked at her and said, "Who's this?" She said, "This is my husband." The farmer said, "Son, it would be your best interest to leave." The young boy said, "But, sir—" "Now!" the angry farmer shouted. The boy left, and the farmer grabbed his shotgun and aimed it at his wife. His wife said, "If you do this, you will be sorry." He gave her one more look and shot her in the head. He buried her in the apple orchard under the tree where they met. Then the next morning, he felt a strange feeling like he wanted to kill something. So at breakfast, he killed his two daughters and buried one on each side of his wife. He no longer wanted to kill, but he felt empty. He had no emotion at all. 2 years passed, and the farmer became wealthy because he didn't have to buy stuff for 4 people, but just one person. He told everyone that his wife and daughters went to Florida to live there after they got into a big argument. He had forgotten what his wife's last words were, that is, until now. It's late at night. The farmer had just bought everyone around at the pub. He got home and went to bed. The strange thing was, he couldn't sleep, even though that he was really exhausted from farming today. So he got up and went to take a walk. He walked in the apple orchard, and it was almost harvesting time, so some apples were ripe and some weren't. As he walked, he could hear rustling, but what was odd was that there was no wind. He didn't think much of it until he got to his destination. He was standing in front of 3 empty graves. He was frightened and ran back to the house. He got to the door, but there stood his 2 dead daughters, without mouths, with blank white eyes and black hair. But they didn't look like they were dead. They looked like their regular selves. He turned to see his wife with her black hair, no mouth, and white eyes, just like his daughters. She shoved the farmer into the house. He fell on his back, and the 2 dead girls held his arms down, and the dead wife grabbed him by the collar and pulled out a knife. She took the knife and pressed it hard against his chest. She slid it down till you could see all the intestines. She pierced his stomach, and a putrid smell let out, followed by stomach acid. He felt every bit of it. She left his chest wide open as he bled out, and took the knife to his neck and slit his throat fast. He slowly died, and after that they knew that he was dead, they returned to the orchard and back to their graves.